Welcome to Fast Applications of Neuropracticity, Part 7, The Perils of Multitasking. I'm your host, Mike Studer. In this edition, we're definitely going to be considering the fact that dual tasking is good, and it can be quite beneficial. It's not for everyone, and it's beneficial when it's applied with a timing and dosage that considers four things: the learner preference and salience. Is this a meaningful task? Why am I being distracted? Oh, this makes sense to me because I'm going to have to do this in my world, my work, my sport. Novelty versus familiarity. How challenging is what you're asking me to do? How nuanced is it? How novel is it to me? But it's also to a point that it's not defeating, that makes me feel childish or embarrassed. Another consideration: am I ready to be distracted? What stage of learning am I in terms of my relationship with the primary task to be learned at hand? My golf swing, walking, dressing a shirt again, being able to swallow, etc. Am I truly ready at this point to be distracted? And then finally, is there a translation to a distracting environment that's apparent, that's relevant for this individual? So we certainly understand that dual tasking can be good, and in most instances it is when we consider those 4 points. So by relationship, if 2 is good, 3 must be better, right? No. Multitasking is not better. Multitasking, as you see here, can in fact be harmful, leaving learners without salient material to encode or consolidate. They haven't even had a chance to be able to engage with the material to be learned because they're task switching too much. What we see in multitasking is that individuals are alternating their attention. They're not dividing their attention. It's a totally separate operation. As I alluded earlier, multitasking involves the skill, if you will, of task switching, which may lead individuals to have insufficient attention so that we cannot consolidate, we can't retain, and we can't learn because we never had an opportunity to encode. Now, what you may be able to improve with multitasking is prioritization. How do I decide which task is most important? And may be able to improve my capacity to alternate attention. Now, there's nearly always more inefficiency when an individual multitasks, nearly more inefficiency in the form of errors, time it takes to complete all 3 or more tasks, and the retention. So multitasking necessarily would be more inefficient by those definitions. So the takeaway: practical suggestions. Number 1, educate patients on the difference between DT and MT. Number 2, be watchful of the learning environment so that you don't create an unwanted multitask by adding on your cues and your auditory distraction to an already dual task situation. Number 3, allow patients to be active learners, to monitor themselves, managing a multitasked environment down into a dual tasked environment so that they can better benefit and tolerate. And finally, it is plausible to develop multitask tolerance that is acceptable to program for habituation, but do not simultaneously expect the individual will be able to learn new information in that environment and in that task. All right, so thanks for watching. Again, you already know this. Future fan episodes released first on Instagram and on YouTube. My name is Mike Studer. Thanks for watching. We'll be back soon with Fan Module 8.